All right, guys, UFC Fight Night, Holm versus Bueno Silva. These are the early predictions. Obviously, we're going to have an updated final picks and bets Thursday, but these are the early predictions. Let's get right into this UFC Fight Night. First fight of the night, Tucker Lutz versus Melsik Baghdasaryan. We all know Melsik's a hell of a striker. He really let me down in that last fight when Kulabau came back and got him. But it's not like it was a terrible performance. He was dominating the fight until it hit the ground. So once on the ground, he is risky down there. But honestly, I think he's gonna light Tucker Lutz up. I think. I mean, obviously, if Tucker Lutz can get him down, obviously he's got a chance to submit him, I guess. But Melsik's just so good on the feet. I think he's going to starch him personally. I hope he does, because if he can't get past this grappler, then he's not going to get past any grappler. So I like Baghdasaryan here. What do you think?
Well, it was just like a little slip of a mistake that he lost his back to Kulabau because it's not like he really got demolished in any sort of wrestling realm, right? So he's got a pretty good takedown defense, 75%. But like you said, he wants to strike in this match for sure, like keep it up on the feet, right? So Tucker Lutz is best when he can employ a little bit of a ground game, but Melsik is going to outland it by a strike and a half, like 5.5 to 4 strikes per minute. Tucker plods forward. He doesn't really get into the pocket really well. Melsik, if he keeps his standing with his good power, good volume, he's a better striker. He should win the fight. Minus 200 might be wide, but I think he's that much better of a fighter than Tucker Lutz.
I just checked like 10 minutes ago. I saw minus 160. So
Whoa. I'm on it now, but
on 365.
Yeah, because they're the easiest to look it up at this. Well, yeah, it says minus 200, but whatever.
Okay.
You're gonna get if
Sorry.
minus 200 is okay, I think, but
Yeah. I was gonna say I like that value, to be honest.
it's not bad.
Yeah. Like, I mean, he cracks. He hit cool.
He's a better fight. He's a better fighter than Tucker Lutz. Tucker Lutz is very robotic, very stationary, just like a generalist, a poor man's version of something.
All right, moving on. We got Austin Lingo and Melquizael Costa. Everybody knows Lingo's a boxer. Costa is definitely a Brazilian grappler. He can get those submissions if he gets you down. The odds are surprisingly very, very close here.
Yeah.
It's weird because I've always given Lingo probably more respect than he deserves, to be honest. I've always thought, his hands are pretty good. But, man, getting taken down and finished by Nate Landwehr isn't the greatest look to me. Like, Landwehr is not some power wrestler who takes everybody down. So if Landwehr could get you down, I'm thinking Costa can get him down as well. And I'm thinking Costa has better submissions than Nate Landwehr. So my early pick is going to say Costa can get him down. I don't know enough of his wrestling. I'm going to have to take a closer look at his entries and how he likes to get the fight to the ground. But my early pick is that Costa will get it to the ground and probably will tap him out. So my pick will be Costa for now. What do you got?
I think both guys are susceptible to the takedown, to be honest with you. And I think Landwehr was good with those takedowns against Lingo because he pressured him for like a round and a half before he went in for those takedowns. He didn't just go straight wrestling on his ass, right? So Lingo can gas if pressured, but I didn't see much in Costa. Like, he's a pressure fighter, like a pressure grappler, but like he doesn't come forward. He's in at least Nate Landwehr. He feints the jab, comes in, hits him a little bit, pitter patter, tires him out. By far, Austin Lingo has the experience in the UFC covered on this guy. That's for sure. Costa is well rounded, but he forces those takedowns. Like he forces, he doesn't let him come naturally. That's because I feel like his striking's not that good. Because I think the striking difference is far better for Lingo in this fight. There's holes in his game. Lingo is a powerful striker. He has decent volume. I would say good, middle to good volume. And he should win the striking exchanges if he keeps like his defense up there. You know what I mean? Surprising or not, he's a dog here at plus 130, and with his experience, and I feel like the striking is like this, whereas the grappling is kind of closer. So I can go dog or pass. I go Lingo as the dog.
Lingo can definitely crack. So if it stays on the feet, he's gonna probably knock him out, to be honest. But
Yep.
yeah, I got to take a few of these fights. I got to take closer looks at. But that's definitely going to be an interesting one. Moving on, we got Estela Nunes versus Victoria Dudakova. Dudakova 6-0. A lot of hype around her as a grappler. She's getting a lot of submission wins. And Estela is 0-3 in the UFC, but they've been tough fights. Like they've been matching her up in very difficult matchups. And yeah, she's losing, but she's not terrible. I mean, her last fight, Yasmin
Yeah,
Uragi or
girl,
whatever,
yeah.
that's a very, very tough matchup. And she wasn't doing bad. She was doing okay. And obviously she got finished later. But this is a tough one because I don't know how good Dudakova is. She hasn't fought in the UFC yet. She's a pretty sizable favorite. So I mean, I think the odds are like they're buying too much into her hype. So until I see it, I don't know. Right now it's a pass. I got to see more tape, but I don't like her at such a big favorite. What do you think?
Well, yeah, you're right. Dudakova, she's a debutante, grappler, 4 wins by submission, most comfortable on the ground. Still need to see more in the striking realm. Even from whatever I watched, you don't see much. You know what I mean? Nunez herself is a striker, but she has the susceptible to a takedown in the last few fights. You know what I mean? So like her takedown defense is only about 53%, I believe, and can be controlled once she gets down there. Was so by Sam Page, but Sam Page is a big, strong girl too, right? Sam Page controlled that new girl. What's her name? The other day, remember
Uh,
Amarim? Amarim, remember? Yeah, she controlled her. Carnelosi also controlled her, but Carnelosi is a beast that they think is on steroids, but they can't prove it. So like her upper body is bigger than my upper body, and she's like 5'2", right? So I mean, I could see that. So those are tough fights, like you said, right? You know what I mean? Those are lazy fights. Like she had to try hard. But both of those girls, again, are beasts. And Yasmin, like you said, too, right? Also a beast, right? So odds are so fucking wide on this. 250 debutante. I've seen it before. I've seen it before. Don't bet fucking Dudakova. That's all I have to say. I'm dog or pass. Don't bet Dudakova. Don't even parlay her. Don't touch her.
I feel like a lot of these fights here are I don't know about these favorites, but
Some of them are all right, but like this one here, don't even fucking touch her. I just whatever. If you want to gamble, go ahead. But
we see this every card that these women wait, the odds are off. They're always off.
this one, just one screams red flag, man.
Yep. Moving on, we got Gennaro Valdez versus Evan Elder. Neither guy has a ton of experience. I'm gonna go with Evan Elder as the more physical, stronger athlete. Valdez is tough, Mexican. I'm sure he's not gonna go away easy. But I think Eldez will be able to bully him around and just kind of dictate where the fight takes place. I wouldn't be throwing money on it, but that's my initial take. What do you think?
So Elder, he's got some bad bad percentages here. His takedown accuracy is 12% in the UFC. His and his takedown defense is 28% in the UFC. So those are really bad. Those are just bad numbers that scream right off the page onto me, right? And then Valdez is 44-40, which isn't great, but it's better than what Elder had. But yeah, percentages are percentages. One guy's 0-2, Elder. One guy's 1-1. Valdez did lose to I believe Matt Frivola in a firefight. He probably should have not taken it to Matt Frivola like that in a firefight, but you know, he did. He would that was a good fight. Anyway, Valdez decent volume in his striking game, but he can be controlled by good wrestlers. I wouldn't call Alvin Elder a good wrestler though, to be quite honest. But he can showed well-roundedness, questionable fight IQ. That's the Frivola thing, questionable fight IQ. He probably could at least try to push him up against the cage, slow that fight. You know, Matt the steamroller when he gets going like that, you can't stop him, right? And so Elder has decent volume himself. I'm not going to take anything away from striking, but he still gets caught. Like he has questionable fight IQ too. Like you know, So he was controlled in his first fight as well for like almost the whole fight. You know what I mean? Who did he fight again? Give me this guy, Evan Elder. He fought and he got controlled, man. It was Preston Parsons. And Preston Parsons just fought Trevin. I think it was Trevin Giles. A
Yeah.
few, and he it was close split decision to Trevin Giles, right? Good fight though. Parsons showed heart and whatever, right? You know what I mean? So I don't know. Elder is a huge favorite here, and I think the line is too wide. And my first indication is there's value in Valdez at plus 225. That seems like a big number. This fight's closer than plus 225. So my pick is
Yeah.
Valdez. My Valdez at plus 225.
Yeah, I mean, lower level kind of prospect fight for sure. Everything's live there.
I don't think like it's just like I feel like they're closer than 225. There might if it was like one minus 150 and whatever, then you but 225 on a fight that's probably just a little bit more than a pick 'em at this point. Yeah.
All right, moving on. I almost feel the same about this fight. We got Carl Deaton, sorry, versus Alex Munoz. I don't think either guy is great. I think the odds are pretty close here. I'm imagining because I mean, I honestly don't feel good about either of them. I don't trust either guy at all, to be honest. They're both kind of reckless and not the greatest IQ. I, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna take Munoz, but I don't trust him. I wouldn't put my money on these two guys, to be honest. I would not put my money on them. What do you think?
I lean Munoz a lot more than I lean Deaton. That's for sure. Because Deaton's weaknesses is Munoz's like strengths, right? So Munoz, 39% takedown accuracy, but it's because he's a wrestler. He likes to take people down. And Deaton showing in the UFC a 33% takedown defense. So it looks like if Munoz kind of wants to get it down, he'll be able to get it down. And Munoz does try for takedowns as well. So at least I know he'll go for it. He is well rounded, but he loves, like I said, loves his ground game. Two of his three fights in the UFC has 4 takedowns. So that at least shows me the propensity to go for takedowns. He arguably got robbed against Luis Pena. I think he did get robbed 4 takedowns and he outstruck him and he still lost, or he just barely didn't get to the same amount of strikes as Pena. So I feel like he got robbed there. Deaton showed a little resistance, but ultimately did succumb to Joe Selecki, and he got tapped at that point. But Joe Selecki's a good grappler, but I feel like Munoz is a good grappler too. Maybe not Joe Selecki jiu-jitsu wild, but at least the wrestling part of it, I feel like the blueprint's there. The blueprint's there for Munoz, who's a good wrestler. He should be able to go there, employ his wrestling game, and take this guy down and hold him down. Minus 160 seems fair for the guy with such a bigger grappling edge. So that's why I'll take Munoz. He has the bigger grappling edge.
Fair enough. Moving on, we got Tyson Nam versus Azat Maksum. Maksum's undefeated. I guess he's got some hype around him, but 16-0 with 0 UFC fights. So this is really a fraud check fight. We're gonna find out whether he's for real or whether he's a fraud. Tyson Nam, not some great fighter. I mean, on paper, and if you're looking at the odds, this looks like Maksum's gonna absolutely smoke this guy. Maybe he does, but honestly, man, like there are a lot of these fraud guys out there, man. So this is going to tell us everything we need to know about him. I will take Maksum to win, but I don't know if he should be minus 400. I don't know that at all. I'm going to watch more tape and I'm going to come with more to say on Thursday. But I'll take him as the winner, but I don't like those odds. What do you think?
Well, this guy is making his debut 5 KO, 7 subs, 4 decisions. So, like, he doesn't really do, he looks like he does everything pretty decent. But Nam's a vet. He sports this weird 100% takedown defense, which is crazy for the amount of fights that he actually loses, right? So, how does he lose all these fights if he doesn't get taken down? Problem is, he's so low volume. So low volume. On the feet, he's always hunting for that right hand. Tyson Nam has a hell of a right hand. And if he catches and cold cocks you with it, you're done. But he gets out volumed easily. Odds are very wide. It's minus 400 for Azmat or Azat or whatever his name is. But But is it warranted minus 400? We don't know, right? Minus 400 is huge, right? That's a huge number. But like Tyson Nam for the out volumes, maybe Tyson Nam plus 300 is not even good enough because he throws 1 to 8, you're 6 all the time. I've seen it so many times. The blueprint's there to beat Tyson Nam. If you're gonna play Tyson Nam, the only thing I would sprinkle would be a KO prop when it comes out. It could be if he's plus 300, you're probably looking at something at like plus maybe 600, 5 or 600 on the low end of things. And if they really give him no chance, and this number from minus 400 balloons up to like 600, then you might get like plus 900 on a Tyson Nam KO. The only thing I would probably play on this fight because I don't know anything about the other guy. Well, I know,
I agree
but not.
100%. If you're taking the dog, I agree 100%. He's gonna catch him and drop him. I agree 1,000,000% on that.
Yep, there's no way he wins a decision. Nothing.
No. All right, moving on. We got Ashley Evans Smith versus Aylin Perez. This looks like a 50-50 fight. The American's the underdog. Maybe she can like out physical her. I don't know. I like the over here. I think this fight's probably going to be long and drawn out, most likely. But you know what? Perez is the bigger girl. Ashley's moving up in weight for this fight, so I'm going to take Perez. But I don't. The odds are close. Expect a close fight. Women's fight again. I wouldn't put a ton of money on it. I'll pick Perez to win. What do you think?
Well, based on the two girls that are fighting, I think the odds are like minus 170 for Perez is fucking large, too large for this fight, I think. But like that's not gonna stop me. Like if Smith wants to win, she's gonna have to take this down, but like her takedown accuracy is atrocious at like 20%. Yeah, both of them are sporting about a 65-70% takedown defense. So what leads me to believe is that this fight is going to be on the feet. And when it's on the feet, Ashley Evans Smith stinks as a striker, and Eileen Perez isn't that much better, but I think she is better. Oh, man, it's a tough fight, but 170 is really getting me hard. Like, it's just too wide. I'm going to pass this fight for sure. But right now, I'm going to take Perez, but I might flip to Ashley Evans Smith. But nah, I don't play the fight. This is a fucking dumb fight. This is a gambler's anonymous
Very low level fight.
I can't really say who's gonna win. I think Perez is the bigger girl. She should win. She should have better striking. I feel like it comes down to striking. And she should have better striking. But that's not guaranteed by any means.
All right, moving on. We got Terrence McKinney versus Nazem Sadykhov. This is going to be a good fight, and the odds are pretty much dead even. For me, they don't have props out yet, but I think the safest pick in this fight is the under because
it's going to be so juiced. It's going to be so juiced.
Yeah, probably. So Sadykhov is a big puncher. He's got, I think, 3 or 4 knockouts in a row, and McKinney is. I'm just gonna say it. He's chinny. I mean, he's a big guy. He can catch you with some good chokes, or he can knock you out. But if he doesn't do that to you, he's getting knocked out. Like if he eats a big shot, he's going down again. And I mean, maybe he rebounds here. Obviously, the odds suggest it. It's 50-50. Maybe he can use his length and score the finish first. But honestly, it wouldn't shock me if he gets chinned again. Like I think I'm leaning Sadykhov by knockout once again. And again, the money lines are 50-50. The guys are both finishers. If you know who you like, I think you choose to finish because I don't think there's any chance this goes the distance. So I'm going to take Sadykhov by finish for even more value. That's my initial take. What do you think?
So based on percentages, so they got both sporting about an 80% takedown defense. You know what that means? Banger alert, right? So Sadykhov actually has the better wrestling. He's got 100% takedowns. He doesn't appear to use them a lot, but when he wants to use them, he does use them. So IQ's a lot is good to have against Terrence McKinney because he has none, right? So like he definitely has none. He's an exciting fighter though. and he's very skilled. He's a decent wrestler. He has skills, but his gas tank is so bad. It's so bad. And I was looking at the striking per minute, like numbers for the little amount of UFC fights they have together. And Sadykhov's at about 5 strikes per minute, and McKinney, for as high flying as he is or whatever, he's at about 3.75, so just under 4. So he's getting outstruck by Sadykhov just by the numbers, right? And I think Sadykhov has the better gas tank. All the indications in his tape don't show that he has the 2.5 minutes that Terrence McKinney may possess at some points in his career. He doesn't always have that gas tank, but he's got a good minute, maybe.
I trust his chin more.
Yeah, I trust his chin more too, but I really haven't seen him having to be super resilient or anything like that. And it's not like McKinney gets resilient. He is on skates a lot too, like that Drew Dober fight. All those fights where he like waiting till he's losing, but he gives it up because he just can't keep it up because what he does. And then last fight he kind of hang back and then just got starched by Bonfim too, right? So go figure. I mean, I think Sadykhov just needs to weather the first minute and a half, and he probably has the better gas tank and just as good skills. I wouldn't say they're better than McKinney. I would say just as good skills to win the fight at these odds, minus 138. I'll take the guy with the better gas tank.
All right, I agree 100%. Moving on, we got Otman Azaitar versus Francisco Prado. This is a tough fight for me to predict. They both have great records, 13-1 versus 11-1. So I mean, on paper they both look great, but honestly, I don't trust either guy. Like I don't trust either guy. I'm gonna say Prado gets it done, but I don't. I can't say it any clearer. I don't trust either guy. I'm not so sure I want to put money on this fight. I'm gonna save my money for somewhere else. What do you think?
I like Azaitar.
Oh yeah, and that's what. Yeah, dude,
I like him because of he sports this 100% takedown defense. So he has been beaten, but he got steamrolled by I think Matt Frivola again. Comes up a lot in these cards.
Did he knock him out brutally?
Yeah. But I think that's because this guy has a fucking attitude, and like he's like I'm better than everybody, and didn't take Frivola seriously. I don't think it's like a skill thing. I just think it was a mental thing. Look,
Frivola hits hard as hell.
Yeah, but people take him for granted, and he actually is a decent fighter, right? So it's just, but like Prada, well, who did he fight in that first fight, man? He got beat up pretty good, I'm pretty sure. Just let me find this here. Prado.
He lost to Malarkey.
Yes, that's it, right? And Malarkey just got chinned. Malarkey took him down and wrestle fucked him, right? For 3 takedowns in that fight. So both guys like to stand from like Prado's previous videos and stuff and fights from before the UFC. Staying in bang, right? So, but Azaitar, I feel like is the better banger out of the two. Like, I don't know how technical this fight's gonna get. Prado did get controlled by Malarkey, but Azaitar will not take him down. So this is going to be a striking affair by far, right? So I think Azaitar has more power. I'm surprised that he is a dog here. I thought he would be the slight favorite, and Prado was the dog, So I'm more than happy to take plus money on Azaitar against Prado. That's just my reasoning behind it.
There's no confidence for me. Like the value is there, so I do like that. I don't know. I think it's so questionable who's gonna pull that one off. I don't know.
Talk about questionable. Probably the next fight's questionable.
Oh my god, buddy! I'm looking at it. I'm going. I don't know. Yeah, moving on. We got Norma Dumont versus Chelsea Chandler. Chelsea Chandler's making her UFC debut. I don't think Norma Dumont's great. I don't think Chelsea Chandler is going to be great. I'm going to assume she's just another, like, I don't want to say her fighting style is American, but like, I feel like she's not a specialist at anything. Like, I don't think she's going to come in and be some amazing striker. I don't think she's going to come in and be some amazing submission grappler. I think she's probably like a bully, wants to just kind of ground you and win from the top position. And can she do that to Norma Dumont? Possibly. I think this is going to be a very close fight. If the odds swing one way or the other, I'd probably stab the dog. I think Chandler's the dog right now, so I'm going to lean Chandler by just being on top. Like I think actually, you know what? Your safest play here for me is they're not really finishers. I think this is going to be an over. So I'll say Chandler, but over to be conservative. And if the odds swing the other way, I'll definitely reconsider. But what do you think?
Well, Chelsea Chandler actually finished her first. She had a fight in the UFC. She fought Julia Stoliastenko. She beat her by TKO. UFC Fight Night 211, Dern versus Jan.
Oh shit, you're right. You got me. All
No,
right.
no, whatever. Fuck. She should beat Stoliarenko because all she does is arm. She's a Russian Ronda Rousey, basically, or whatever. Dumont, both girls have about 65% takedown defense, and Norma's the only one that's going to attempt takedowns here. I don't think Chelsea Chandler is going to try to take down Big Norm. Uh, that butt's not going on the ground. It's hard to move it already, you know. Only ever been out grappled by one person in the UFC, and that was Macy Caasson, who's big for her weight class, right? So I could see that. And now the striking numbers are skewed because if you look at Chelsea Chandler's UFC striking number, she's averaging 8.94 strikes per minute. That's because she blistered this girl in one round. So that's where those numbers are skewed. But Big Norm, she's not good. Her like
Oh,
not with the volume. Dude, like in her best win, I think it was Aspen Ladd is the only time she threw a decent amount of volume. Most of the time she's between even her wins are about 55 to 60 significant strikes. And Chelsea what's her name? Chelsea Chandler threw 38 significant strikes in the first round against Julia Stoliarenko. I'm not saying that you can do that on everybody, but at least she's shown the ability to go out there and throw volume. I have never once seen any, Big Norm take like full advantage of like space or like the center of the octagon or anything like that. That last fight, was it against Carol Rosa or was it her when she held her up against the side of the cage? I think it was Rosa. Let's see. I think I'm right. Sometimes I get these names mixed up, but nope, Carol Rosa. She walled installed her to a fucking barely a decision at best.
that's a good win. That's a good win.
I guess, but she didn't do it. I think like Rosa dropped her in that fight, right? So like, no, 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 no. I don't think so. I'm gonna take my chances here because Big Norm, I feel like, is always so gun shy, and Chelsea Chandler, from what I've seen, is not gun shy. So I'm gonna hope that she doesn't get, the bright lights in her eye, and she gets ring scaredism. Some of those people just get gun shy, but like, no, go out there and throw your fucking fist against Big Norm. And I don't know what she's gonna do.
Yeah, like I said, I don't love Norma Dumont, but
No,
she has fought the better competition.
oh
So
for
it's
sure.
a big step up for Chelsea, but she can do it.
I'm just doing it by like styles, right? Like Norm has never shown any like volume style, right?
Yep.
At least we could both say that. And the one fight that Chelsea's had that I've watched, I watched a couple more, but those are like regional, and it's always geared towards like the prospect. So like this last fight against Stoliarenko, she showed good volume in one round. 38 in one round's good for man, woman, don't matter who it is, right? So whatever.
All right. Moving on, we got Walt Harris versus Josh Parisian.
This is a stinker, buddy.
This is a strange fight. I feel like I don't know the last time Walt Harris has won a fight.
It's years.
But that said, he loses to anybody who has power. Like, is Josh Parisian going to chin him? I don't think so. So this feels like a fight that Walt Harris can win. I think he's the better athlete, like natural athlete. I know he doesn't look like some ripped guy or nothing, but I think that he can be the better wrestler, be the quicker, more powerful guy, I think here. So it sounds crazy that I'm going to pick this guy because, like I said, I don't even know the last time he won a fight. But I feel like Walt Harris can win this fight. If he doesn't, he should be cut, to be honest. Like, I think he has to win this fight or he's cut. I'm going to choose Walt Harris just by being the quicker, stronger athlete that I got. I don't think he's great at anything. I don't think he's going to be some grappler who submits you. I don't think he's going to turn into some ninja on the feet. I just think he's going to be a little bit stronger, a little bit quicker. I don't really trust him, but I'm taking Walt Harris. What do you think?
So Harris has good power. a shit gas tank. Parisian, if he can endure the early power onslaught from Walt Harris, he can make this a wall install battle and maybe like stop him because like Walt Harris somewhere between the second and third minute of the second round just like loses everything known to man in his body and just goes limp. But he is the better athlete here. But minus 200 is what got me. Like it's so wide for such a bad gas tank, right? You know what I mean? Like I wish this was a pick 'em.
I just looked. Walt Harris hasn't won in 4 years.
Yeah, minus 200. Fuck. And I don't want it's too wide, but I hate fucking Josh Parisian too. Like, don't get me wrong. So Parisian, at least I looked, when he loses, he's usually losing by decision. And Walt Harris can't make it to a decision. So reluctantly right now, I'm gonna pick Josh Parisian based on odds, and I can't trust Walt Harris at minus 200. This is an odds play. This is straight odds.
Yeah, it's gonna be a weird one. Loser has to be done, man. Loser has to be done.
They both trash.
All right, moving on. We got the co-main event. We got Albert Duraev versus John Young Park. I'm actually surprised at these odds. Albert's the underdog. I thought he'd be the favorite, to be honest. I know he's inconsistent. He has had that bad loss to Joaquin Buckley where I was like, what the hell? I was shocked he lost that fight, but he rebounded pretty good last fight. I think I like the dog here. I know I don't think Park's gonna submit Duraev. I don't think at all. On the feet, Albert's not great, but he's big. He's tough. He took a beating in that Buckley fight. Like he wasn't knocked out. It was a doctor stoppage or whatever. I'm gonna take Duraev to get this done, but I do realize he's a little bit inconsistent. But I think at his best, he wins this fight. I think he does. What do you think?
Well, I think that Park is a well-rounded athlete. He always does better when he can employ that ground game and he can mix the striking because he doesn't really have power, right? So he doesn't really finish guys. It's more of the submission thing that has how he finishes his fights. He doesn't knock guys out, right? So his takedown defense 70%. He should be able to stay off the ground. Should be able to. Derive though 50%, and he gets kind of tired as fights go by and gets into the later parts of fights. So that's a little bit of a red flag. Derive is low volume as well. Park has a better gas tank than Derive is. That's another trade-off there. I just think Park is he's gonna be able to stay more busy than Derive in this fight. He lands almost 2 strikes more per minute, so it's 4.92 to about 2.94. So, but 2 more strikes per minute, and they put that over like a few rounds. That's 20 strikes or more. I feel like it's a decision iron turtle. He's just going to do one of those vintage performances, just like stall him up here, take him down for a couple seconds, let him up, punch him on the ground, kind of what he does. Duraev.
You think Park is going to take Duraev down?
Oh yeah, at least he'll try. I do think so.
See, I think Duraev's the way stronger guy.
Yeah, but he does his wrestling's so forced, right? And you could see that. He's only got about 25% takedown accuracy, right? It's because he forces it. But whatever, it's a close fight. Not either way. I think it's going long.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you over 100%. Yeah. I feel like Park likes to go for those chokes, and I don't think he's going to be able to grapple with Duraev here or be successful in it. You are 100% right that Duraev does gas, so that's a concern for sure. But I mean, you could say he outstruck Chitty last fight. Like he looked good. I mean,
he did, but like the outstriking was, I looked it up. It was like 50-42 or 55-46.
And Chitty's got serious power. You got to be careful, right?
Right. But that's not the type of fight he's getting here, though. It's not going to be like he shouldn't have to worry about Jung Young Park's power on the feet. It's more about Jung Young Park 1-2s. It's a jab followed by a right hand, a lot more straight punches, right? But they're not very powerful. It's more about the volume. So I don't think he has to worry about getting knocked out like a Buckley or a Chitty. So I think volume is going to play a big part in the way this fight goes. That's all.
All right. I think we both like the over. Right now we look like we're a little bit on opposite sides, but hey, close, good fight. We'll see what happens. Moving on, we got the main event. A pretty weak one. We got Holly Holm versus Mayra Bueno Silva. On paper, Holly Holm looks like the kickboxer, and Silva looks like the grappler. However, I'm finding Holly Holm doesn't like to strike anymore. She's getting older. She's getting older. I don't think she likes to get hit. I don't think she's. I feel like now she's winning on athleticism and grappling, and I don't know if she wants to do that for 5 rounds with Bueno Silva. I mean, I think at first glance, the whole world here is going to say, oh, this is a good spot for Holm at only minus 160. Call me crazy. I'm going to stab the dog here. Like I said, I think Myra is hungrier. She might not be as credentialed on the feet as Holly Holm, but I don't think Holly Holm likes to strike anymore. So I think the pressure from Myra Bueno Silva is going to make Holly Holm want to wrestle and want to grapple. And sure, she can probably take Myra down, but I don't know if she wants to be on top of her for 5 rounds. It's going to be a dangerous game to play. So I'm gonna stab the dog here. It might be crazy. What do you think?
So Holly Holm's a good striker back when she used it a lot more than she does now. But she has a sneaky ground game that's gotten better over the last little bit. More about Buena Silva. She doesn't use the takedown as much as she could, and she's very comfortable staying on her back once getting taken down. So that's where I feel like that's where if Holly Holm gets it down, Buena Silva is going to hunt for like submissions before she's going to try to get up. Holly is just going to accrue control time if it gets down there. But also, both of them sport about Holly's sports a 78% takedown defense, so it's going to probably stay up, right? So I'm Buena Silva only attempts a few and far between takedown. So I feel like this is going to be a striking battle if Holly wants to keep it there. And if it wants to go to the ground, it'll be Holly taking it down. So Myra lets her opponent dictate where the fight is. That's what I don't like. I feel like Silva is a little bit too low volume on the feet, and she leaves the opportunity to be out volumed and controlled. Holmes's age will catch up with her one day. I just don't feel that Buena Silva is actually that good. She's caught a couple submissions in her last. Again, Lena Landsberg and some other shit. I can't remember. Cost me some money because she won't go the distance. But
for me, I see red flags in Holly Holm, like even in her face, like you can see that age is catching up with her. Obviously, she's a freak athlete, no doubt about it. But she wanted nothing to do with the striking with Yana Santos. We running low.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We're gonna see.
She wanted nothing to do with that striking with Santos, and then she got submitted by friggin' Misha Tate. Yana Santos doesn't try to get up. When she's taken down, she's a fish out of water. So Holm was able to rinse and repeat. I don't think she can lay on Silva for that long. That's my thoughts.
Silva's too comfy. She's too comfy in her Brazilian jiu-jitsu world. That's a problem. Some of those guys they got to use it to get up, right? But she doesn't. But that's the only thing. Close fight still.
All right, guys, these are the early predictions. Lots can change. We have lots of tape to watch. We will post our updated picks and bets on Thursday, so look out for that. Like and subscribe as usual, and we'll see you Thursday.